Today we're doing a little body work on a car that my sister totaled out, and we're having to put in new pieces on the door opening on the passenger side here. And the biggest thing to doing a job like this is before you get your welder out and start welding, you need to screw the pieces together with some self-drilling screws like I've done here, and then check it all for fit. For instance, I had the door off a while ago, but now I have put it back on to make sure that everything fits like it should. In other words, the gap. Then also, like you look at this rooftop, I put that on there, and everything seems to be lining up pretty good. So now I will get out the welder and weld all those pieces in, and then we'll see where we're at after that. Well, here we are. It's 4:18 in the a.m. on Tuesday, August the 4th. And I've been up here working what you might call the night shift on this car I'm trying to repair. And so let's take a look-see and see where I'm at. Well, here's the wrecked car. We're slowly getting it back together. We have put a hood on. We have not welded it, or we have put a roof on, although we have not welded it in place yet. We're waiting to get some more parts in place to make sure everything matches up and so on and so forth. That's the key thing to doing one of these jobs, is making sure you have the perfect fit, the perfect alignment, and once you do that, everything else falls into place. So, you know, we've put all these parts onto this car, and there's the door frame that I was working on the other day. I got it welded in. You know, we have a donor car over here for parts, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. This is not the ideal way to do it. It is just simply the cheapest way to do it, what I'm doing by, you know, taking parts from this car to put on that car. And, you know, this car was a junker, so we got it for like 400 bucks. So, you know, I mean, it was well worth it, but it just makes it a lot more time consuming to, you know, have to take the panels off of here and then have to refit them to fit this one, you know. And the thing is that you have to take so much care in taking these parts off of the donor car to where you don't mess them up too badly. And we've ran into some issues with that tonight, but, you know, we're going to try to contend with it. So that's just to let you know where I'm at. And, you know, I'm really needing to hump it on this job and get this done fast, because, you know, I'm thinking I need to take a job and go to work and make some money. So hopefully with any luck in a couple weeks I'll be driving this car. So we got the quarter panel spotted in, and I thought I would just show everyone what to do when you're doing this. Now, you know, there's something that you should put on anytime that you do a patch like this, and that is what we call all metal, because all metal is waterproof and Bondo is not. So, like, you know, all along this edge where we've welded this panel in, you want to put all metal on it, just right around here, so that you'll never have any rust get on there. And this is the all metal Bondo that I'm talking about that you should use, and I'll show you what it looks like. You see down in there, you know, it's got metal reinforcement or something in it. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but, you know, it's shiny and it looks about like aluminum. Okay, so what I like to do, I just use a piece of cardboard to mix up Bondo, all metal, fiberglass, anything like that. I just take a piece of cardboard and rip it out and mix it up on it. So generally what I do is just take a paint paddle and glob some on there. And this stuff is pretty thick. Much thicker than what regular Bondo is. And we've got a pretty big area here, so we need quite a bit of this to successfully coat everything that we've got. So we'll try that much to start out with. Now this stuff does not have a cream hardener. It just has a liquid hardener like this. Now I'm going to stir this up with the paint pedal, which you really shouldn't do that. You should use the spreader and fold it over and over, but I just want to expedite the process some. Now one important thing to note, you never want to try to do your finished body work with this all metal because it is just, it sets up so hard. Now I'm going to add a couple more drops of the hardener because a lot of it ran off before, so this time I'm going to build a little place like that in the middle for the hardener to set so it doesn't run off and soak into my cardboard. You know, the thing is, it's been about 15 years since I have worked in a body shop and worked with this stuff every day. But, you know, I find that eventually all the little tricks and stuff come back to you. Now, what I'm going to do, because I'm cheap and I'm trying to conserve as much, I'm going to scrape the all metal that I have on my paint paddle off, thereby wasting the least amount as possible. Now, as you will see, I will just take and apply a very little bit of this on this seam that I showed you. And I think the thing to do is to first put it on here like this and then come back and try to smooth it out flat if it doesn't set up first. It's kind of acting like it's going to set up on me. Yeah, we will continue on now and go down the seam here that I have. And you know, in a place like this, it's really hard to work with this stuff because you have all these angles and everything else, and it's just like right here, I can't hardly get into. And I guess that just about does it. Oh, got some back here still. Forgot about this. How could we forget about that? Alright, now we've got the whole thing covered for sure. So, I'll show you a little trick that I like to do. Whenever you're working with Bondo or any kind of filler, I mean, this will work for fiberglass or anything just as well as it will all metal. I like to take and spread out the product, whichever it is that I'm using, all metal, Bondo, fiberglass, and then I will have a nice board to mix with next time, because this will harden up and make the board somewhat stronger than it was to begin with. So that's how you do it, and I assure you that cardboard will work just as good as one of the, expensive mixing boards that they sell you. The thing is, cardboard's free in this case, because I just take it off boxes and stuff that I have around the shop.